I know the academic policy is a big deal, and it should be, but honestly, I've never, ever, ever had a problem with any of these wonderful children.
Academic honesty, I think, is one of the foundations of who we are. I mean, there's only one person who can take away your honor, and that's yourself.
If you cheat, you'll have not only a penalty if you're caught, but you'll have a stain on your honor the rest of your life that you will remember.
What do you really want to do? Do you want those extra few points, or do you want honor? It's points or honor. For me personally, it's all about the honor.
Academic honesty is important because it instills the concept of integrity and responsibility for one's own work and actions, and those lessons can carry on beyond high school.
And academic honesty, if you violate it, you're basically violating your own self-respect and integrity.
I think it directly reflects on the type of person that you are. If you're willing to cheat, what else are you willing to cheat in your life? What else are you not being honest about? Because if it's that easy for a person to cheat, then their character is obviously not that strong.
We have some students who think that they can get away with cheating on some quizzes. They share answers from quizzes once they're graded, and then they'll tell second period, will tell third period what the answers are for a particular quiz.
What I don't understand about this is that generally when tests are curved, if the first class that takes the test gives any tips to other periods who take it, and let's say that period does encounter the same questions, they're actually decreasing the likelihood that they're going to do as well on that test, not to mention doing something that's completely dishonest. So it's sort of like shooting yourself in the foot, because you may even tell your classmates about certain questions that were really hard that you didn't know the answer to, that were in a tiny part of the book, and then those students have an opportunity to go look up those answers and just raise the curve. So not only is it wrong, but it also is kind of stupid.
The most common form of cheating that I see on campus is the sharing of homework, usually through email or exchanging papers before class. A lot of students like to copy homework from each other.
So cheating is something that happens every day. I mean, it even happened today. We're sitting in class, day before spring break, we're doing this kind of activity in class, we're working on a worksheet, kids are, we're listening to music, we're talking, it's, pretty relaxed, and I look over, and I got a group of guys right here, and 2 guys are finished, and they're just kind of hanging out and talking, which is cool. And then I got this kid over here, and he's got 2 worksheets on his desk and no book. And I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? You working on your worksheet? And he just kind of looks at me, and I'm like, well, I don't think you could be working on your worksheet since your textbook's not on the desk. Whose worksheet do you have there? And he just kind of mumbled something, and I said, well, either you give me those 2 worksheets right now and you get a referral, or you give that other one back and you get to work like you should be. And he was just kind of speechless.
I just got caught cheating, and I'm pretty fortunate. It was a small assignment. I'm definitely not going to risk it again, because it could have been a big assignment worth a lot more points or something. It's not worth the risk, so don't cheat.
Consequences for a first offense typically are a 0 on the assignment, and then we also contact the parents to make sure that the parents know what was going on, and it's more of an information discussion only. If a student continues to get involved in level 1 offenses, there's a process to that. In the case where a student is caught for a multiple level 2 offense, or second offense or third offense for level 2, if it's in the same class, it's an automatic withdrawal fail from that class, which means the student does not receive any credit for the class. It's an F on the transcript, and the student is literally removed from the class.
All for what? A couple of measly points? Come on, guys, seriously. There is the possibility of probation. You could get suspended from school for cheating in class. You could even flunk out. And honestly, is one test or one homework assignment really worth all of that trouble, all of the potential consequences? Do you really want to risk your future and not be able to go to college or something because of something so silly as cheating? I don't think so.
And I think it's because they are overwhelmed, they have too much to do, and they feel that this is legit to cut corners, and whatever it takes is what they're going to do.
I think people feel the need to cheat because, I mean, these days it's harder than ever to get into college. It's harder than ever to get the grades. It's harder than ever to, you know, feel good about about your own success and to have other people feel good about your success. So people feel the need to cheat to reach those expectations. And I think, you know, a healthier alternative would just be to do the work and to work harder and to reach your own goals for your own reasons, not for other people's reasons.
Well, I don't think anyone really wants to say, I'm a cheater. You know, I want to cheat because I'd like to think of myself that way. I think it's more a matter of they're under a lot of pressure.
Pressure.
There's an immense amount of pressure.
Pressure from colleges.
Pressure.
Ah!
And so even if it's not just pressure that they feel within that class, it's pressure to get good grades for college. And I think the more pressure that you add on, the more likely they are to think that cheating is the only option. And some students have the mentality that I must get an A in this class. I have to get an A on that test. And I think it's really important that they remind themselves that no, you'd like to get an A, but you don't have to, and it's much better to get a grade the honest way than to end up with a grade that you didn't deserve and to end up with something that's inflated, and maybe that helps you the slightest bit get into the college that you want, but then you find yourself in a place where the expectations are too high and you're just not ready for it. So usually it comes back to haunt students.
I think the biggest thing that a student can do is if they're feeling this pressure, is don't put themselves in that position in the first place. Don't try and take 5 AP classes. Try and manage their time better. Don't procrastinate, and be honest with themselves and with their parents and with their teachers. If a student comes to me, I tell them, I would rather you come to me and say, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this done. I feel like I'm putting myself in a position that the only way I can get it done is to cheat, and then we can sit down and actually try and make sense of the situation, and then find a way that's not going to result in them dishonoring themselves.
Don't cheat. And then I leave just like that.